It's common to feel unworthy of love, but uncommon to talk about it. So we're going to talk about it. We want you to know your worth so you remind others of theirs. I am your host, Eryn Eddy Adkins, and this is the So Worth Loving podcast. Well, hello, So Worth Loving family. It has been a minute. Oh my gosh, it's been a minute. It seems like we took a break, not intentionally though. We have an episode that's coming out that we recorded last year with this whole speakeasy sessions. And I'm really excited about this episode. It's actually on finances and finding our worth through finances. And I talk with our financial advisor, and he's had to take a few steps into making sure that this episode is approved by his company. So it kind of put some things on pause, but I didn't want to not share anything. So I thought, well, you know what? I'm just going to jump on the microphone because I know how to do that. And I've got a little voice memo recording going right here. And I am in my stepdaughter Hallie's bedroom recording because it has the best cushion with all of the rugs and carpet and things on the walls. So here we are. We did it. We're here. And I just want to say thank you so much for listening to the So Worth Loving podcast. If it has been helpful, oh my gosh, could you just rate and review it? That would be huge for me, only because that's what the algorithm shows. It will show our podcast if we have reviews and all the rating thingies. And so rating thingies. So yeah, if you could do that, that would be huge. That'd be amazing. Yeah, so let's get into it. I am really wrestling with what to share on this episode, and I don't want to share anything just to check the box off that we're doing it. So I keep going back to this comment that was left on the So Worth Loving Instagram page, where it was on Shelly Brown's episode. And Shelly, if you've not listened to that episode, it's a really, really good one. She's like a big sister, and I know her story personally that she didn't share, and the woman has so much grit. And she's gone through it. I mean, gone through it. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to have her on the episode. I knew that she probably wasn't going to dive into some of the things out of respect for her children and for her past. But she has overcome a lot, just trust me. And so the wisdom that she shares is from a place of grit and mistakes and wandering. And not all wandering is bad. I wandered in my life, and in some ways, I created a lot of regret. And in other ways, it wouldn't be my story. I wouldn't be able to share what I know now about worth and my struggle with believing I'm worthy of love if it hadn't been for my wandering. So this comment that was made on the So Worth Loving Instagram account insinuated that it's obvious that I believe in God and that I believe that I am superior, or now I have an awakening, and I guess see people less than that don't believe in God. Oh, that broke my heart. I don't believe that, and I don't think that, and I don't feel that. And so there were parts where, I replied back, and I don't know why, but I just keep this morning, I'm like, I want to share. I need to share. I need to share that I don't think I'm better than because I believe in God. In fact, I need God so much every day because I struggle with my sense of worth. So definitely is not coming from I've arrived arrogant place, but out of a place of desperation. And I'm on this journey with him. And I've been on this journey for 30 2 years. I started believing in God when I was 7, and I can get into my testimony a little bit, but I just want to address that comment that I don't believe that. But I also can't deny that he exists. I can't. I literally cannot. And it's not because I think I'm arrogant and know it all. I cannot deny that God exists. And if you're new to the So Worth Loving podcast, I want you to know, like, we interview people of all walks of life and they are in different parts of their story. Not all of the people that I've interviewed believe in God. And some people have a different journey of faith. But I'm not going to deny that I have a faith. It's been a struggle of mine because I have been a host to a podcast that is specifically a Christian women's podcast. And with the So Worth Loving podcast, I knew I didn't want to pigeonhole us into only one area. But I also don't want to deny that I believe in Jesus. And I believe Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior. And I believe that because of him, my life has been radically changed. So how do I navigate wanting to talk about your sense of worth and finding it in areas that are just fleeting? Like, they literally are instant and then they disappear. That looks like success. That looks like relationships. Looks like a relationship status. It looks like finding it in your worth or being a parent, a mom, a dad. All of those things, when they go away, where's your sense of worth? And so I just want to say, I respect other people's opinions in how they are on the journey of learning where their worth and faith intersect. And also, I cannot deny that God is real and he intervened in my life. And that's where I stand. And so I guess I just want to paint a picture of how I got to this point. So when I was 7, I did the sweet little girl thing when you've been raised in a Christian household. I asked Jesus into my heart. And from there, my dad continued to inspire me to boldly pray that let my light shine so bright that people ask where it came from. And I prayed that prayer for decades, like 2 decades. And to give you some context, like, I grew up in a very relationship with Jesus spiritual household. I did not grow up in a legalistic household. I grew up with, principles to live your life of integrity, but never legalism. My dad grew up without a father, and he battled with heroin addiction when he went over to Vietnam. And my mom grew up in a religious household, Christian household, and wanted to be a free spirit. And she was a hippie. So my parents raised us girls to be curious about our faith and to pray really big, bold prayers. And so I did that. Faith was very important to my dad. It's the thing that rescued him from his addictions. It's what he has encountered God in miraculous ways that he can't deny. And he is the most loving, open-minded man that has modeled that for me in my life. And I'm so grateful that my dad has overcome what he has overcome to be the kind of father that he is. My dad's not perfect, but my dad is amazing. My mom's not perfect, but my mom is amazing, and they've modeled curiosity and a relationship with Jesus to the best that they can. So anyways, I digress. So I grew up, just to paint a picture, I grew up in that kind of household. I went to an all-girls school. There were a lot of women at that school that didn't believe in God. I felt like I was the good Christian prude. I felt the only Christian prude that was given that name often. I wasn't invited to parties where people were drinking or doing drugs because I would be a buzzkill. So, but whatever. I focused on the things I enjoyed, which were leadership roles at the school. And I loved the school that I grew up in. I grew up in a non-denominational church, and then somewhere along the way, I started performing for my faith. And I thought, if I do all these good Christian girl things, then I am going to be promised a marriage that has no flaws and a career that thrives. That's just somewhere the enemy planted that lie in my head, and I believed it and I ran with it. And when everything came crashing down, I talk often like nothing suddenly happens. It was a lot of it's fine, it's okay, it's whatever's that I kept saying, but those compounded to where nothing was fine, nothing was okay, and we cannot ignore. And I encourage you, what are you saying it's okay, it's fine, it's whatever to? What are you sweeping under the rug, whether it's enabling a behavior in your marriage or within a friendship or a family member? What are you saying it's okay, it's fine, it's whatever to? I remember after my divorce, I was really, really angry at God. And I remember having dinner with my dad. I had moved back home, and my dad, he just like got steaks off the grill, and we're sitting there at the dining table, and my dad goes, we're sitting at the dining table, and I go, I'm angry at God. And my dad just is like, don't be angry at God. And I was like, well, I am. Like, it made me more mad. And I was like, well, I am. And you can't tell me not to be. I'm angry at him. And my dad was like, sweetie, God loves you. Like, I don't understand, why people choose the things they choose and why, this is where you're at. But like, God loves you. He's never left you. And I'm like, he has totally left me. And what it felt like was, I've been trying to be pretty protective of my former husband's story because I've not wanted to exploit or objectify his own journey. And but also there are parts that are my story's tethered to. So there was a big lie and secret in my marriage for the entire marriage of some things that he was engaging with and indulging in privately, and I had no idea. And I did not feel protected by God. I felt betrayed, not only from my former husband, but I felt betrayed by God. I felt like I did all these good girl things, and you knew this was happening, God? Like, you didn't protect me? Like, I was so angry at him. So that anger led me to denying him, listening to podcasts that I was like, you know what? The Big Bang Theory seems pretty accurate. I became really just angry and then apathetic. And then I was kind of like, I'm just kind of done. I'm done. I did all these things and I was hurt by the Christian church. And I was just like, the Christian bubbles of gossip was insane. And I was just like, I'm done. I'm done with all of y'all who apparently represent God. And I'm done with God. I'm done with all y'all. No one protected me. No one is coming to fend for me. And yes, I made huge mistakes. Yes, I let my heart wander where it did not need to wander. And I did not have the appropriate guardrails. Yes, yes, yes. And also, this happened and it hurt. And like nobody wanted to defend me. If anything, I was like the Jezebel, the wearing the scarlet letter. It was the worst. Oh, it was the worst season of my life. It has made such a stamp, and I will continue to talk about it because I want to help other people that have wrestled with this, that have gone through this, because God has redeemed me from this. I don't have anger towards God anymore, and I see where he has been, that I overlooked him. I got too busy. I got too self-consumed. And I have forgiven the friends that betrayed me, whether they know it or not. The people that I've lost. I understand that we all meet each other with what we know. And sometimes we lack the tools. And I had a lot of people that lacked tools, and I lacked tools. And so this awareness on the other side came when I was exhausted living my own way. You know, I was exhausted living the performative Christian girl way. And then I was exhausted living my own way. I was constantly seeking my sense of worth, whether it was found in like my intellect, or it was found in my appearance, or it was found in the attention I got from men, or it was found in me being very hypercritical of other people, help me feel better, smarter, wiser. Does that make sense? So I got tired of that. And I got tired of, I didn't know how to, first off, let me just say, I didn't know how to date. And I've thought about this often. So if you are still listening, I'd love your advice. I've thought about doing a dating after divorce series because I didn't know how to date. I met my former husband when I was 17 years old. I was 21 by a month when I was married. And now I'm 30, I'm single, and I don't know how to receive attention. It feels good. I've been rejected. I've been gaslit my entire marriage to believe that something wasn't happening that was happening. And I'm disoriented. And now dating, what I should have done is not date, but my desires really wanted to. And I wanted to make out with anybody possible that wanted to remind me of my worth. That's just as candid as I can get. I could actually get more candid. But anyways, I digress. I come back home. I'm in this anger, jaded, just, mad at the church, mad at everybody, carrying that baggage everywhere I went. I get home and I'm tipsy and I'm taking off my really thick black eyeliner and my red lipstick. Not that there's anything wrong with either of those. Just painting a picture. And I'm washing my face and I'm like, I'm going to take a bath. I'm going to take a bath. I always talk about washing the day off. I'm going to wash the day off. I'm going to get in the bath and wash the day off. So I get in the bath and I'm sitting there and I'm just thinking like, man, this is my life. Like, I am in $100,000 of debt. I shopped at Dollar Tree where I couldn't even afford to get toilet paper by the 12s. I was buying toilet paper, one roll at a time at Dollar Tree. I was so broke, and yet I had money to go to a bar and hope that either a dude would buy my glass of wine so I didn't have to pay for it, or I would pay for it and then I wouldn't have food to eat for the week. I would just eat macaroni. I don't know what I was doing. My priorities were so out of whack. And I'm sitting there and I'm just like, is this what I have for me? Like, if I'm supposed to be doing my own way, like this really sucks. And I hear, it's almost like an audible voice. I'm sitting in the bathtub and I'm like crying about my life. I crack open. Instead of telling people or my dad that I'm mad at God, I told God that I was mad at him. And I just said, where were you? Where were you when instead of my friends praying for me, they're gossiping about me? Where were you when he was choosing this stuff and I had no idea, and naively and freely just gave my heart still to this person who was daily betraying me? Where were you? Where were you? I thought this business investment was a blessing, and it broke me. It financially broke me. It broke my heart. It broke my business. Where were you? Like, if you're real, God, if you are real, you're going to have to fight. You're going to have to fight through the anger. You're going to have to fight through any lie that I've believed about you. These lies seem pretty accurate to how I have felt and how I feel like I've been treated by you. And it was so audible. God met me with a question. And he knew I needed a question because everybody had an opinion on what I should do and who I should be. And I had opinions. Everybody had opinions. And God did not say, well, this is what you need to do to fix your life, Eryn. He met me with a question. It was so audible. And I had been so far away from him that I couldn't deny because I knew it was not me. And he said, are you exhausted? And it was like, the question was like, he knew the answer, just like the woman at the well, where he asks her a question knowing the answer. That's what he does. He meets you sometimes with questions because he knows that society, communities, people around you rarely ask questions. They assume. And that was my story. So many people had assumptions that it was breaking me because I cared so much about what they thought. And so he met me with a question. Are you exhausted? Are you so tired? You look so tired. Are you so tired? And I was like, yes. Yes. I'm trying to pay off this debt. I'm trying to find any form of instant gratification just to get through the day. I'm depressed and I'm angry. Oh, and then the next day, miraculously, I stumble upon a verse. And I guess before I should fill in some gaps before I get to that day. In that moment when I was like, yes, I'm exhausted, I said to him, you can have it all. Like, you're going to have to show up. You're going to have to fight through the muck that whether it's the mistakes I've made that I feel like I just feel heavy about, I feel degraded from, you're going to also have to show me that you care because it feels like you didn't, or that you overlooked me, or that you ignored all of this that was going on. And I said, trust has to be built. I was so demanding. Woo. I was so demanding. And he didn't flinch. I said, you can have it all. You can have every bit of it. I will tell you everything. I am exhausted. I will tell you all of my thoughts, my fears, my shame, my mistakes, my righteous anger. I was right to be angry about some things. And that is not disqualified because I made mistakes. And God met me. And so the next day, of course, the debt collectors didn't stop calling. I had debt collectors from my business. I acquired the debt of my business. And I acquired some of the personal debt too. I was really reckless with money, but which is why I'm excited for this episode to come out. But none of that cleared up. But what did clear was my anger. And Matthew 11:28-30. God met me with that verse the next day. And he has fought for me since. I love this verse. It says, are you tired, worn out, burned out on religion? Come to me, get away with me, and you'll recover your life. I'll show you how to take a real rest. Walk with me and work with me. Watch how I do it. Learn the unforced rhythms of grace. I won't lay anything heavy or ill-fitting on you. Keep company with me, and you'll learn to live freely and lightly. That's what I wanted. I was burned out on religion. I wanted to run away. I wanted to also recover my life. I was at the point where I didn't want to die, but I didn't want to exist either. And I just felt like a burden. And I wanted to learn the unforced rhythms of grace. I didn't want anything more heavy or ill-fitting on me. I wanted, when it says, keep company with me and you'll learn to live freely, I wanted company. And I wanted company that wasn't going to betray me. And I wanted company that was going to remind me of who I am, who I truly am, who I can become. I wanted all that. I wanted every bit of that verse. I was starving for it. And I didn't know how to do that in the daily. And so it looked like being okay with being bored, finding contentment in accepting that this is my reality and believing that I will get out of debt and I can recover from a heartbreak that literally broke me, broke every bit of my insides. Believing that I could trust again after being betrayed, whether it was from marriage or betrayed, where I betrayed myself, my values, I betrayed my own values, and I was betrayed by a tribe, a community of people. Believing I could still trust again? Oh, the only way that I could have overcome all of that was to go, God, you're up. You do it. Show me how to do it. Teach me, be my mentor. You invented trust. You invented wise choices. You invented integrity. You invented living a life of grace and freedom? You invented that? Then show me. Teach me. You invented grace? Show me how to receive it. Show me how to accept it. There was a lie spoken over me that I wanted to be a Christian because then I could get away with doing wrong things because grace is always available and there's no accountability. So I lived in this trap of a lie, punishing myself, thinking that I'm not worthy of grace. God, teach me grace. You've invented it. Teach it to me. Teach me how to receive it. And he did. And he does. He continues to restore. It didn't happen overnight. It happened for the last 7 to 10 years since then. I can't deny him. It's part of my story. The So Worth Loving podcast is not a Christian-based podcast, but I am a Christian. And I can't deny my story and I can't not share it. So that's the journey. I was in a season where, honestly, probably a decade of not truly knowing how to believe in God. Not that there is a how-to way, but I definitely put a lot of rules and restrictions that broke his heart, and it severed a lot of the intimacy that I could have experienced with him in my 20s. And now I get to experience an intimacy with God that is so fulfilling that no relationship can touch. No relationship can compare to. And so if you are in this journey right now where you're angry at God and maybe you just know it, but you've not expressed it, maybe express it to somebody safe. You can just go, I'm angry at him. I think sometimes we have a hard time admitting it because we feel guilty. But I do believe that anger can produce intimacy. Anger can reveal the truth when done in a healthy way. But my way wasn't healthy, and yet it produced intimacy with me and God. And so I pray that over you today, that you can be brave in expressing that you're angry, even if you don't believe he exists. God is a gentleman. He'll never force. He will never force a relationship with you. That's your choice. God also will never assume anything about you because he knows you. And so maybe share it with a friend. Maybe share it with a relative. Maybe share it with him that you're angry. I can guarantee that his heart broke every day that he witnessed someone betraying you. He's a God of free will. And I'm so grateful for that. Because I got to experience living a life of free will, doing whatever I want to do. to coming back around to my faith, where my light slowly started getting dimmer and dimmer from what I prayed when I was young. In my teens and early 20s, that light just got so dim. I never thought I'd get it back. And after all my mistakes and choices, it can still come back. And it's brighter, and it's more mature, and it's got some grit, and it's got some texture. And I'm grateful for that. Thanks for listening to this raw episode of the So Worth Living podcast. I am so grateful for each and every one of you that listens and listens through the whole way. You know, I actually can see, it will show me on the distribution how far people have gotten through the episode. So I wanted to keep this one short, and short in comparison to the other episodes that we've had. Thank you for listening as long as you have. If you would just rate, review it. If you know a friend that this would help them, if they're in this season, please send it to them. Also, if they need to phone a friend, they can DM me on Instagram at Eryn Eddy or at So Worth Living. And I'm so grateful to have your ears for as long as I did. I hope that you have a good day, and until next time.